Welcome dear students to our political science class of Standard 10th. Today we will discuss Chapter 1, Working of the Constitution. The Indian Constitution, the longest of any sovereign nation in the world, provides a comprehensive framework to guide and govern the country, keeping in view her social, cultural and religious diversity. A distinctive document with many extraordinary features. The Constitution of India is the longest written constitution of any sovereign nation in the world. The original text of the Constitution contained 395 articles in 22 parts and 8 schedules. It came into effect on January 26, 1950, the day that India celebrates each year as the Republic Day. In this chapter, we will take a brief overview of the wide-ranging nature of Indian democracy, important changes that have taken place in its political process, and steps that have been taken to establish social justice and equality. This review will primarily focus on three areas: democracy, social justice, and judicial system. India's transition from an erstwhile British colony to an independent sovereign state meant for her people a change in their status from being mere subjects to citizens bestowed with adult suffrage. The ultimate authority, therefore, now rests with the citizens. India's large and complex population made it impossible for this authority to be discharged directly, and therefore the citizens elect their representatives. This act of electing their representatives is called elections, and the set of rules that determine how the elections are conducted and the results ascertained is called the electoral system. The members of Parliament, Lok Sabha, are directly elected by the Indian public voting in single-member districts, and the members of Parliament Rajya Sabha are elected by the members of all state legislative assemblies by proportional representation. The Indian Constitution ensures that the country's representatives are free and fairly elected and enables the election committee to oversee, manage and direct the Indian election. The political process and political competition show that Indian democracy has become successful to a great extent. Voting is one among the foremost impactful belongings you can do for yourself and your community. If you are a citizen of India and above 18 years of age, you are eligible to cast your vote in the elections. As per the Constitution of India, every Indian citizen who is of sound mind is given a universal voting right. The voter is not discriminated on the basis of factors like religion, caste, creed, economic status, etc. The voting age was reduced from 21 to 18 by the Parliament within the year 1989. The present-day youth are literate and enlightened, and also lowering of the age offers to the unrepresented youth of the country a chance to provide vent to their feelings and help them become a component of the political process. The present-day youth are pretty much politically conscious. It is therefore proposed to cut back the age from 21 years to 18 years. The effects of reducing the voting age from 21 to 18 years are as follows. Increased participation in the political processes. India has the largest number of voters compared to any other democratic country. It encourages youth participation in public life, giving the younger generation an opportunity to be the change makers. The change is not quantitative but qualitative as well, since new parties are emerging with the active support of young voters. It reflects the political maturity of India that empowers and actively working towards helping its citizens exercise the right to vote. Such provisions have made India the largest democracy in the world. India's efforts in decentralization represent one of the largest experiments in deepening democracy. Democratic decentralization is the process of devolving the functions and resources of the state from the center to the elected representatives at the lower levels so as to facilitate greater direct participation of citizens in governance. 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments by constitutionally establishing Panchayati Raj institutions in India mandated the establishment of panchayats and municipalities as elected local governments. They devolve a range of powers and responsibilities to the local government and made them accountable to the people for their implementation. A study for the 14th Finance Commission by the Center for Policy Research shows that all the states have formally devolved powers with respect to 5 core functions of water supply, sanitation, roads and communication, street light provision, and the management of community assets to the Gram Panchayats. On 15th June 2005, President APJ Abdul Kalam gave his assent to the National Right of Information Act 2005. With presidential assent, the central government and state governments had 120 days to implement the provisions of the bill in its entirety. The Act formally came into force on 12 October 2005. Right to Information Act 2005 mandates timely response to citizen requests for government information. Right to information empowers every citizen to seek any information from the government, inspect any government documents, and seek certified photocopies thereof. The basic objective of the Right to Information Act is to empower the citizens, promote transparency and accountability in the working of the public authorities, contain corruption, and make our democracy work for the people in real sense. Accordingly, citizens in India have got right to information, education, and food security. These rights have strengthened democracy in India. In the past, the law has discriminated against some groups based on their race, religion, or gender. Social justice is when each person can exercise their rights within a society. A government that promotes social justice ensures that everyone has physical security, education, healthcare, and employment. Social justice promotes fairness and equity across many aspects of society. The preamble of the Constitution assures justice, social, economic, and political, as well as equality of status and of opportunity, with a view to promoting among all citizens fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. Social justice denotes the equal treatment of all citizens without any social distinction based on caste, color, race, religion, gender, and so on. It means absence of privileges being extended to any particular section of the society an improvement in the conditions of backward classes and women. Social justice is about equality. Reservation policy in India is a process of reserving certain percentage of seats for a certain class such as scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, backward classes, etc. in government educational institutions, government jobs, etc. The reservation policy is an age-old policy being practiced in India. Its origin has its roots scattered from the ancient times when the practice of untouchability, caste system and Varna system was dominant in the society. The then prevalent caste system was a major reason for the advent and advancement of the reservation policy in India. The idea of giving reservations to a certain class of people originated because of the prevalent atrocities being done on the certain class of people. To give them an equal opportunity and equal status in society, to uplift them socially, to bring them at par with other sections of society, and moreover to bring development in the lower strata of society were the reasons for the adoption of reservation policy in India. The Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 is an act of the Parliament of India enacted to prohibit discrimination, prevent atrocities and hate crimes against scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. It was enacted when the existing provisions such as the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1995 and Indian Penal Code was found to be inadequate to check these crimes. Article 29 protects the interest of the minorities by making a provision that any citizen or section of citizens having a distinct language, script or culture have the right to conserve the same. Article 29 mandates that no discrimination would be done on the ground of religion, race, caste, language, or any of them. In the post-independence period, efforts were made for empowering women. Taking into consideration the problems of women, several policies have been adopted at national and international level to remove illiteracy among women and to make available opportunities for their development. The right to have equal share in the property of the father and husband, Dowry Prohibition Act, Act Against Sexual Harassment, Domestic Violence Act are some important provisions which create a favorable environment for protection of freedom of women and securing their development. Slowly but steadily, women elected to panchayats are asserting themselves and in the process giving a new thrust to grassroots governance. The 73rd Amendment, among other things, handed over the reins of power to the people at the panchayat level with a 33% reservation of certain seats and key positions within the panchayat to women. The percentage has been raised to 50% in several states including Maharashtra. The judiciary is that branch of the government that interprets the law, settles disputes, and administers justice to all citizens. The judiciary is considered the watchdog of democracy and also the guardian of the Constitution. The Constitution is dynamic. Our Constitution is a living document rather than a closed and static rule book. In order to serve the country, our Constitution accepts the necessity of modifications according to changing needs of the society. Secondly, in the actual working of the Constitution, there has been enough flexibility of interpretations. The judiciary has taken a stand that the Parliament, while amending the Constitution, cannot alter the basic structure of the Constitution. The protection provided to the citizens by the fundamental rights in the Constitution has been made more meaningful through various decisions of judiciary. Some of the important subjects on which the court has given judgments include rights of children, protection of human rights, protection of the honor and dignity of women, individual freedom, and tribal empowerment. These efforts have made the political process in India more mature. In this chapter, we took a review of the Constitution and working of the government on the basis of the Constitution in the context of Indian democracy. That's all for this class. Thanks for watching.